Hi, everybody, and welcome to The Right Perspective. And, our podcast is all about, debriefing, reviewing classics. And there is one show that we are doing in real time, and it is This Is Us, because this show is so good. We know it's going to be a classic, and it is already a classic from The Right Perspective. And so tonight we're going to discuss episode 9 of season 5, and it's called, what is it called, sis? I forgot that fast.
The Ride.
The Ride. Y'all, okay. They did it again. So interesting.
Of course,
What did y'all
of
think?
course.
I
I mean, it's, I think we should always take a moment to just consider out
to bad.
consider how good the show is.
We
Yeah.
have to introduce ourselves.
Oh,
Oh man,
thanks,
show's so
sis.
good. But I forgot the whole.
I
That's
just
fine.
want,
We'll
I
start.
want to get into it. No, you're right.
Let's this episode start backwards. Hello, I'm Brittany Wright, and I'm the youngest.
And as usual, my experience is the same. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
matter.
I'm Janai Wright. I'm the middle. It doesn't matter.
I'm Aubrey Wright, and I have two younger sisters.
And finish your sentence, and he
My
loves
time to
it.
shine.
And
My
finish your
time to
sentence,
shine.
you
What?
love it. Is that the end of your
And-
sentence?
and I
you
love it.
so much. Yay!
Please help me. Somebody in podcast land help me.
Bro.
Oh
my
man.
gosh.
What?
So y'all, we've been reviewing the show right after, but now we're doing a recording the next day. And so, bro, you watched it real time yesterday. You've had a day to process all of this. Where are
Yeah,
you? You're
this
reflecting.
this is you ready for your next graphic, Janaya? Are you ready? Are you
Yes.
ready? All right. So the next graphic you need to make a "This Is Us" Basque moment. Basque moment. And because I think every time we watch episode, we can just pull that up for a second or two, so we can just
like a basking, like oh,
no,
like,
just a little thing that says "This Is Us" Basque moment, and we can
okay,
just for
Okay.
a second because every time we start the podcast, we always have to adjust a little bit based on how good it was.
right,
You see what I'm saying?
right.
But anyway, so yes,
It's like a moment of reflection.
yes.
Okay,
So
well,
let's have one right.
Well,
Let's have one
yeah.
right now.
So, episode 9.
No, you messed it up. We got to do the basket moment real quick. You ready?
Okay, got it.
So we're gonna act like we just started talking, right? All right. All right. Brittany, did you bask? Janaya
Yeah.
basked.
I
You did?
did.
Okay.
Okay.
I don't.
She didn't.
I didn't.
She didn't bask. She didn't bask.
I did.
Well-
Let me
Yeah,
catch up.
Yeah, she's so eager to introduce herself, but she can't.
But she can't bask.
She's not.
First of all, I basked the first time he said it.
Okay. All right. Well, let me see your bask. Let me see it. That's good.
That's good,
That's
actually.
good.
All right,
I'm
I
not
can give her
gonna
for
lie.
being late.
That's a good
That was
bask. That was a good bask. And I think it was something about the glasses.
I can
They're
see you
like-
were pondering.
Yeah, it was like a
Yeah.
ponder moment.
It was a good ponder.
That was good. All right. So, all right. So this now that we've got that out the way, but yes, man, just think about it's something. Well, none of us have kids as of yet, so it's something that we don't even consider, I didn't consider that ride home, the first ride home, and we got to. And you would think, can a show make a whole show for an hour just about the ride home? Yes.
Yes, you can.
This Is Us can. This Is Us can. And it
Mhm.
just
Man.
overlapped all of the rides home after all, all the parents had children. So we're watching Jack and Rebecca in their first ride home. We're watching Kevin and Madison, and their ride home, watching Kate and Toby with the mom, the birth mom, on their ride home. And man, so
and
bad.
we're watching Deja.
Oh, yes. How can I forget?
And
yes.
Annie on their ride home, and
well,
watched,
not their ride home, because that was more in the beginning.
But it wasn't to their house, but it was home. So you're thinking about Randall, and like they brought home baby Annie in the episode too.
Right.
But then we watched Deja bringing home a baby still in utero.
So you're counting that as
I am counting it.
And, all right, well, actually, I'm on board. I'm on board then.
The blurb for the episode.
Because technically, there's a baby in the car.
Yep.
Technically.
It's coming home. And the blurb for the episode
I think that one's a stretch, sis, but I'm coming with you.
What made me think of it, I can't act like I came up with it. The blurb for the episode on my DVR was, the Pearsons' lives are move forward through car rides or something like that. And it made me realize all of them were car rides, including the piece with David.
You got it. You got it. All right.
I should have just taken credit. I should have been honest at all about this. That my DVR put it all together for me.
Brittany's Tuskegee shirt is making me think I should have had on a Morgan shirt, and you should have had on
we have to do that one of the episodes. We got to do that one of the episodes.
But is it lame, Doll?
No, it's never.
Never, because baby, my HBCU will never go out of style. Let's be clear.
Making
it
all about you is one of your superpowers. You know that. You know that. You have the ability.
I can't even believe Aubrey just shaped his mouth to say that. Did the world just hear that? Aubrey acting like Brittany's the only one here who grabs attention all the time. Growing up, when we were little.
Hold on.
Yeah, everybody just.
I need everybody
everybody just Google middle child, and then you can fill in the rest.
Just enjoyed Brittany because she was so sweet and cute and little. Everybody liked Aubrey just because he was the oldest and they knew him longer. And it's like, oh, congratulations, you're a boy. Whatever. Okay, and there I was.
And my tremendous personality.
Whatever, bro. Look at this. Whatever. Okay, all I know is I can't believe you tried to
that
call
was
me
bad.
out.
That was bad.
When you bro. Come back.
That was bad. That W was so bad. All right, we're getting off track. All right, so listen. So I guess we got to talk about I guess we got to kind of talk about each ride. So, man, I guess we'll start with Jack and Rebecca.
Jack, take it to the beginning.
That's Mama and Papa.
Do it
that's Mama and Papa. That's Mama and Papa. That's Big Mama and Big Papa.
Yeah.
Mama and Papa.
Oh,
Mama, man, but
it was so sweet. It was so sweet. Like, we have seen so many different aspects of the experience of Jack and Rebecca in the hospital. We have really dug into their decision to take Randall home. We've dug into just the all of the drama of the labor and all of that. And it was so wonderful to see this tender moment of just two scared new parents, freaking the heck out. Rebecca was like, she was so nervous just for the kids to be in the backseat of the car in a car seat. And Jack was so freaked out he drank. Did y'all think, I hate that they gave away that in the preview. We knew he was going to get driven to drink in this episode because they showed it in the preview last week.
Oh, I never watch previews.
Well, they did it right after the episode.
Oh, I'm on the button.
They sneak attack it in there.
No, there's no sneak attack. You know it's coming. I hover over the pause button in the last
That's
few
smart.
minutes.
That's smart, bro.
'Cause
Because
I don't-
that
I
was a
don't-
big spoiler to me. Because I knew he was going to drink, and it was clear that it happened in a gas station. So when he pulled up to the gas station, I was like, oh, he's about to get that little alcohol. I
No,
hate
what
that
he
they
was
showed
about
us
to do was bust that man's ass.
that. He picked the wrong day
Jack
that
got
day.
out that car.
And look,
Like, uh-oh.
the thing is that, man, that's why you don't never mess with people. You don't know. Like,
You don't even
you don't know this
know.
is a tortured Vietnam vet, boy. You better calm down. What's wrong with you?
He got
He's
internal
close.
demons and
He's
babies in the
close to
back seat.
flipping at all times.
At all
At
times.
So-
all times.
But
PSD
it
and a
was-
new daddy. That's a combinaciones.
Yeah, it
Listen
is.
and
here.
it was so
Listen
it was
here.
so crazy watching how I think they just did such a good job of showing that conflict of how some of the things that are good about him are the things that are his challenges as well.
Yep.
Because it was just his instinct to protect his kids, which is an amazing thing. But at the same time, you can see he was so on edge that this whole situation could have went
I mean,
way left.
Well,
Because
it's so clear though that what I concluded though was that the reason he drank was not because he was on edge about the babies. He drank because he hated the way that he flew into complete rage when that man was trying to cut them off in the car. And the reason I think that's the reason he actually drank was when he admitted it to Rebecca, he said, I just can't believe how quickly I turned into my father and just flipped out at that man. So, I mean, it was so, because he was already in a stressful moment, but it was seeing his father in him is what made him to drink. And I thought that was so complex because that's the catch-22. How you can become the thing you're trying not to be.
I mean, you're trying so hard.
And in doing that, you're becoming the thing that you're trying not to be.
And the other thing is your thing might not be alcohol, but we all have a thing.
Everybody has a thing.
And that moment where he broke, like I feel like that's something most people could identify with.
Absolutely.
Whatever because it's just like he was doing so good, and then he just.
Did y'all think he was going to get behind the wheel though? I thought he was about to drive.
I thought he was, but I was like, I mean, I thought he was, but then, which this is terrible. You know, no one followed what I'm about to say. I was like, it was just a sip. He's on his way home.
It's like,
he got to drive.
I know, but what I'm saying is,
but it's illegal. Don't do it.
I was sitting in this very living room speaking aloud to him, Jack, if you get behind that wheel with those babies in the back seat, we are going to have a discussion. I was going to tell him the heck off. Oh, yes, I was.
We are just terrible people.
Yeah.
I was
like,
but here's no.
I even need a scope.
She's drunk from pills. She's drunk from pills and stitches.
I'm just saying.
Listen, the babies they would have thought that they was in one of them little beds that move. If he was driving home.
I mean, because
a drunk driver is not a bassinet. A swinging.
But can you feel off of that much that he drank?
I say this: don't risk it.
Okay.
No,
I'm just saying.
It only takes 0.01 second.
I would like to
anger, not the drink. I think his anger, not the drink, got him to not drive.
I mean, I think
that's interesting.
I think that the moment I wanted to co-sign what Janiyah said, but really I was thinking the same thing Brittany said. Like I wanted to be, but I think the interesting thing is, I wanted to be the high moral, like, yes, that was good. And I did think that. But it was a moment I was like, wow, he's like not even taking a chance at all.
at all, and it was also
which is a good thing.
Himself, it was him.
But I'm not gonna lie. If he drove off, like this wouldn't be a point.
Be no judgment.
This wouldn't be a point where I would be like, and he took a sip of that and drove. Like it wouldn't have been.
Oh my God, I would have been on pins and needles until I saw them at the house. I would have been on pins and needles.
All I'm saying is that if you get toe up that fast from that little sip of like somebody's spit in that thing, if you really need to stop drinking all liquids. Like just don't.
You're not even good at anything. You're not even good at
nothing.
See, I didn't get that he was drinking to feel drunk at all. I just felt like it was just a mental thing he was doing. Like, I put it in my.
I'm anxiety.
I'll put it in my terms because there have been many a night, people out in podcast land that I've had my struggles. I may have went and bought a cookie and bit it and threw it away. I've been.
Oh no, podcast land! I don't got that kind of struggle. If I go buy a cookie, I'm finna eat that thing. I don't. Who
you
has
never
time?
Did that, Britt?
Bit something. Have you ever done that?
Have you ever done that? Take a bite.
Listen, I've done it to the point where I had arrangements with people. I had arrangements with people at my last job where it was like, if I just walked up to them with a random snack that was open, they knew. It was like I am wasting so many bags of potato chips because I open them and eat one chip. And I'm like, I need a better system. So I actually had people at my job who would just like take my open snack.
That's one of my new favorite Janiyah stories.
Yeah.
But I'm saying, I'm just saying, so that's how I felt. I felt like he was just, I didn't feel like he was trying to feel anything. He just was just,
he was
taking that one potato chip.
Yeah. Totally.
It was a reaction, but listen.
Yeah.
That's so
well, funny. The other thing that I thought was really sweet about that moment is that everything else, every other time we had watched them in the hospital, it was about the loss of a baby and the finding of a baby. And this time it was just about the baby. There was none of the conversation of Randall and, they didn't really get into all of that. It was really nice just to have the babies coming home. I thought that was
and so did they didn't show them. Oh, when they got home and, the babies were quiet, you know what I'm saying? Just seeing them match that up with what was happening. I want to get ahead of myself.
Okay,
so I'm just saying.
The next one.
All right. So what's the next one?
Well, I do want to say just one thing. That whole riding in a car with a crying baby. I have been babysitting before, and this baby, it was almost like she just knew her mother wasn't coming back for some time, and she said, "Well, let me warm my lungs up, because I'm going in." Okay.
I'm about to go in.
I'm going in the whole time this lady is gone. And I did not know what to do.
You saying that baby took a Ricola?
It didn't matter. No consoling. It didn't matter. It was just all.
So you empathized. You felt them.
Gosh,
you was feeling them.
It was terrible. I said,
did you emotionally go there?
No.
When you were watching the scene?
I went there and I said, "Oh, I get it. Yeah, sit in that car."
All I know,
I got into that minivan and I drove that baby around that neighborhood. She didn't make any noise, and I remember I stopped and I said, "There we go."
There you go.
She had a nerve to start crying. Oh, I said, "Oh, well, let me press the gas again." We rode around until about 10 minutes before her mama was supposed to be back. Because I was like, no.
Seriously. I mean, but I also say, if you have a tactic that works, employ your tactic.
Go for it.
That's what I have to say, because that just seems like a lot of noise to deal with. That's all I have to say. I'm just like, y'all have, and when Rebecca was like, no, let's just sit and wait. I was like, that's smart, girl.
No, that's right, girl. Go to sleep.
Because don't touch
that's your last sleep you're taking for the next 7 years.
And wait, so the only people in the show that weren't like in a new experience, they were in a repeat experience, was Randall and Beth, because they were bringing home their second baby. So and then for Kate and Toby, they were technically bringing home their second child, but it was still a new experience for many reasons. It was because of the adoption. So but I loved how, like, Beth was reflecting. She was like, man, we're so good at this right now. Why did we think this was so hard? Like, all she was doing was packing up a diaper bag. And you could tell she was just reflecting on, like, this was such a big deal and it's such a production before. I appreciated that. They could, because they could have done Tess, but instead they did Annie. Yeah. So they got to have that seasoned parenting.
I'm telling you, the other thing I like about This Is Us is they have superheroes on the show. Like, Randall is a superhero. Randall is one of these ones who always, seems to say the right thing or do the right thing. I mean, even Kevin said, you're the best person I know. Right. And that shines through. But the great thing about it is they still show their flaws, even when it's subtle. And the thing is that, Randall, this is not the time to be talking about no third kid. And
he couldn't let it go.
Even because that, Brittany, you just brought up the perfect point, because even if you bring it up, that's one of those things where, because you might have thought she was on board with you in that moment, like, I'm already thinking about another baby.
Right. She wasn't.
But she let you know she wasn't.
Quickly, she let you know.
And then you kept pushing the issue. And even his, like, apology moment or whatever, it was one of those, well, I guess I'll just have to, like,
it was so annoying. But you know what? Here's the thing. Your partner. Nothing he was doing was surprising Beth.
Beth been knowing this nut since college.
Exactly.
This nut.
That's a nut.
She knew when he said it, he was not going to drop it. She knew already. So that's the thing. She was ready to forgive him when he went through his process. We've been watching Beth this entire time. Just watch. She lets Randall go through his process. She will support him. She'll offer resources, but she's just like, this is a nut.
This is him. That's what she said. Yes, that those eyes of that baby look like she could cry and laugh at any moment.
Exactly. You on the brink. You on the brink.
She knows she done got with a nut.
She does.
He went home after. Remember how he went home after their first date in college? Yeah, I met my wife. That date did not go well.
Your conclusion is not based on evidence.
What?
Yes,
they did not go well.
Your hypothesis was not supported
at all.
I just love how this show taps into so much different experience, because it's like I feel like I'm watching the scene all over again, hearing you talk about it. Because from the male perspective, from my perspective, I'm just like, man, this dude is just really not.
Your timing is
doing
awful.
His best. He's not his best self right now. Like, and you all see it like, well, that's Randall. It's like there's so much good. This is a little bit of a rough edge, and just come along with it. That's all.
But you think about that. That was a theme throughout all the women with their husbands. Was you saw that with Beth, where she was just like, okay, I'll drive, even though I was just talking about my stitches, but whatever. And so I'll drive. Obviously, if he's asking me to drive, there's something going on. Let me drive.
That's Rebecca, since you said Beth.
I'm sorry, yeah, Rebecca. And then Beth, her knowing him, like, she's just like, that's who he's gonna be. Let me go get my own Snickers Blizzard. Yeah, because I'm gonna give you a moment.
He needs a moment.
You need a moment. And then I'm
to either laugh or cry. You need a moment to laugh or cry. Yeah, Kevin's I guess now fiance. She was like, "Listen, you're tired. Pull over.
I'ma drive. Like,
let's just use that. Let's just use that to jump right to Kevin. Let's just use that to jump right to
Kevin and Madison.
Thank you. I always forget her name.
Yep,
I know you ain't talking about name forgetting.
Okay, all of them.
Y'all, if you're a listener for our regular podcast, Brittany ain't got a character name memorized
yet. Not once.
She don't do the name.
I bet at this point she's not trying. She's not trying. You know,
y'all get the gist. Y'all know what I'm talking about.
Yeah. Well, it was so good to watch them because I think
the one that used to be the sister's friend.
The gist would be a good name for a musician that wrote songs that weren't too specific. I'm sorry. All right, go ahead.
That's copyright on the right perspective.
Yeah, you just gave me an idea for a sketch, bro. That's so good.
That's copyright.
That's copyright. Sketch to write.
I got Productions, right perspective. If anybody uses it, you're going to get beat up.
Welcome to the mind of Aubrey. I just want to give you a pair every now and then of the stuff that goes on in my head.
Oh, and this is a chance to shout out our painting is here in the background, which was made by the artist James Storsling. And look at Aubrey looking stressed out in this painting.
It is perfect.
I don't know if I'm stressed out. I might be laughing right there.
I think you don't thinking. Know. You don't know. That's why I love it. It's so good. It's so good. Oh man, but what were we just talking about?
All right, so no, we were talking about Madison. We were about to start talking about Madison and Kevin riding home. And this was, man, I just felt like the tension of that scene. I've lost the laugh. I don't know what y'all laughing at now. But anyway, I thought the tension.
Y'all, Brittany just sent me a chat telling me I was sleepy, and I didn't appreciate it. That's all. Because you know what, y'all? It's late right now. I've had a very long day. I am a professional woman, okay, with a ton of responsibility. I will not be mocked for being exhausted. Okay?
Listen,
thank you very much.
A song about you. INDEPENDENT.
Well,
you know what that means?
Well,
all I know is I'm saying enough for you to get the gist. I'm saying enough for you to get the gist of my opinion.
Album dropping March 3rd.
That's right. All right, so go ahead, bro. You were doing Kevin and Madison.
So I'm just saying that the tension in that scene, I actually think they had the best scene. Because there was so much nuance in these interactions that they weren't overtly saying. And I just really enjoyed it. Now, that being said.
Bro, you said the best? What makes it the best?
Okay, now listen.
You got to explain that. Because I'm like.
When I'm saying the best, I don't mean, realize I'm starting at a level that's well above any TV that's out. Yes, so best is not, it was the one that intrigued me and draw me in the most. How about that? Okay. Just because I liked how they're showing almost like Kevin is saying all the things that have been being by him, but it's not really. And it's just a hard thing to show that without saying it, because he's saying all the right stuff, but every problem he has, you can see these calculations in his head. Like, yo, is this how it's going to be? Right. Like, am I going to have to be riding, and avoiding paparazzi? And then who's this Madison? She's a soldier now. Like, hey, how do I,
She's been saying it the whole time. I'll be fine. She's been saying it the whole time.
Because here's a funny thing. At first look, when she got out the car, you think like, how's she walking like that after she just had some babies? But some people get into that mental space where it's just like, look, I got to handle something.
Yeah.
And so
before women have babies, there's a nesting phase. Mm-hmm. And and they start to clean the house. They start to, there's something about for most, and I don't want to say all, but I want to say for many women, you get into this phase where you're getting the house prepared. You're getting yourself prepared. Like, and so when I saw her like get out the car, like, listen, my main goal is get my babies home. Whatever I need to do to get my kids home safely. Got this nut outside the car about to beat up the man. About to beat up the paparazzi man. Which that man was shameless, and he played that role perfectly. He was like, I don't have any family and friends. I don't know anybody.
He's had that conversation 1,000 times. He's gonna have it 1,000 times this week. And he if you're
going to be a paparazzi,
you gotta
be a good paparazzi. That's how I imagine that's how you gotta be. Totally. You have to have no empathy, and listen, he just doesn't.
And I felt like immediately, like for her to have that skill set to know how to negotiate, I wouldn't even been known to do that. Give the paparazzi something better than this moment. I wouldn't even have been able to think of that as an option. I thought it was brilliant. And as you all know, I have not been optimistic about Kevin and Madison. But I felt better. And maybe I felt better because Jack came to talk with us.
Well, yeah, I was gonna. That's what.
Is that why I felt better?
Really, that's what really pushed that scene to the top for me, because I was like, man, this is us. That was just so good. Like that. When we're talking about, there's a scene nearing the end where Kevin gets to talk to Jack.
And it's like, was it him dreaming or what? Like,
it was him dreaming. He was dreaming. You know. He was dreaming because he thought he was inside the house and he woke up inside the car.
Mm-hmm.
And, I've had like dreams of our father interacting with him, not on this level where it's like, listen, here's a life lesson, but still when you can wake up and it really feels like you were in that moment with the person that has passed away. So I appreciate This Is Us doing that type of they still live on type of thing. I love that This Is Us does that.
And when you make it a dream, what you're doing is you're drawing conclusions from the subconscious of the person. And so in that particular interaction, Jack is like, listen, I spent my whole life trying not to be my father, and you're spending your whole life trying to be your father. And he's like, man, just make your decision and lean in. You're going to be fine. Just be you, And it was just like, so the fact that it was a dream means that this is stuff Kevin knew. He knew that he was not, his instinct to overdo it and do too much wasn't the right thing. But in that moment, he gave himself permission to let that go.
Yeah.
And I thought that was lovely.
He did. I will tell you the scene of when he proposes to Madison, it really did become realistic to me in the sense that I remember talking to one of our cousins about him and his wife. And I said, what let you know that you two wanted to get married? He was like, we talked about it. And so I think about how much movies and fairy tales and novels and all these different things, how they set up romance. And they set us up in such a way that makes it feel like you're on a cloud forever. And the truth of the matter is it truly is a set of decisions. I was listening to this little short TikTok video of, I think he's a shaman or a guru, one of those two things. And he was just saying how if you're looking for the perfect person, you're going to be looking forever. They don't exist.
Because you ain't perfect.
The truth is, because you're not perfect. You? And one thing he mentioned, which is something my bro and I, we talk about often, is he said, if you become the best version of you, then you're attracting more people to you. And he was like, so it was just this, but just a mindset that, listen, you get with someone and you make it work. And you work at it, you push through those things. And when I was like, this is the realest moment ever. Like, he's seeing this strength in her that he has probably seen in his mom, that he has associating with something that is, you're the yin to my yang. Madison, I know we've talked about it. No, I really want to make this official. I want you to be my wife. Like, will you marry me? And so, like, just just these moments of how it wasn't some, oh my God, he saw me, I saw him. No, our introduction, and also Madison, our introduction to her was this annoying skinny woman at a fat group. That's who our introduction to Madison was. To see her grow to be this, listen, he runs outside 9 a.m. every day. I'll call you when he's about to go. You know, like, to see her become that person. I'll drive home after I just had twins. Like, I'm starting to appreciate her character and then their situation even more.
And sis, your comment on just the reality check. It is the perfect segue to Kate and Toby, because Kate and Toby, they're in a situation where tonight, this episode was a reality check.
Hello.
You know, I mean, I think a lot of them got to stay in a bubble a little bit, but tonight, like, Toby and Kate, they had signed up for an open adoption as the process that they have been looking forward to. We didn't know, they didn't say that explicitly. But tonight it was clear that they wanted to open adoption. They had really bonded with the birth mother to the point that you may recall from last episode. I was like, I felt they're almost too close. I was starting to feel like it was too close. It was too much pressure. It was not going to allow for separation. And tonight, the birth mom was just like, I thought I could do open adoption, but I can't. I can't just watch y'all have my child. And she was like, maybe down the line. She was like, but no, we can't be friends. You can't come hang out. We can't do photos. We can't see each other every couple of weeks. She's like, I can't do it. And
that was another.
Go ahead, bro.
I'm sorry. I'm just saying that was another moment of, you know, we see a lot of strength in Kate, and that was another moment.
And Toby named that. Toby named that tonight.
And but I also like them showing the humanity of these great characters, because Kate didn't handle that situation the best. Because the only thing she should be saying is like, well, listen, we're here. So however you want to, however you want to do this, just know we're never going to cut you out. So we got your back, and just let her process however she needs to process. But man, she was pushing the issue, boy.
But Toby and Kate were they had so much nervous energy. But to me, it is, again, who made these arrangements? It's like, why are y'all riding home together?
I just can't imagine that that's normal practice.
It's just too close. It's just not.
I was like, Uber's not running in this town.
Right.
I was waiting for that to happen. I said, she took her purse and she was going to take her purse back.
But they could at least send him an Uber.
You know what I'm saying?
Could Toby do 2 trips? Could Toby do 2 trips? I mean, like, seriously, I was like, this is extremely uncomfortable and unnecessary.
With her crying, the
instinct, and she still has milk in her breast at this moment.
Forget milk in her breast. Her vagina is still ripped into shards.
Listen,
come on. I mean,
let me tell you though, that when Kate actually made me a little
that's
upset.
right, bro.
Shards. Okay.
Listen. Your JJ ain't the same.
Listen.
The kegels, I don't care how many you do.
That's what I heard. What I heard.
But Kate made me mad in this moment. I was like, Kate,
shut
in
up.
all these scenes, you've never had a Karen moment. I said, but Kate, you was a Karen in this moment. You was upset that this lady taking autonomy. You were upset at her making a decision for herself to say, I can't do this. And instead of caring about her, you only cared about yourself because you weren't concerned. That baby don't even know that she's been switched over to another person right now. That baby don't know. That baby's just like, I'm in somebody's arms and I'm getting some food. That baby has no idea at this moment what is happening. Everything that you were feeling in that moment was not about that baby. Even when you brought up Randall, you didn't know Randall was having mommy, daddy issues and not knowing about his parents until 2 minutes ago. So you bringing that up, I was like, oh, Kate,
it was very
not attractive, girl.
It was very selfish.
But it was
real.
It
was very real.
It
was
very
real.
But it was also very predictable, which is why you have a different ride home plan. That's my point. You have a different ride home plan. You have a different plan. I don't need to be here in this birth room with you either. I'm sorry. I just thought all of this, you all are trying to be friends. That I hate to say what I'm about to say. This is a transaction that needs to be completed. Okay. And listen, you're trying to act
you
like.
You feel like that about the baby, but you didn't want him to take a little sip and ride home.
All right. This is exhibit L in just this week where Brittany does not get the gist. This is when Brittany does not get the gist.
I don't see how you were connecting that one.
She doesn't care, bro. She doesn't care. Okay.
Just like Kate. Just like Kate. It's all about you.
It's all about you. Brittany and Kate tonight, you know? And I'll tell you,
both plus 5 and 5.
It was just so predictable that everyone's emotions would be raw and all over the place. So riding home together was a bad plan. But can I also just say the way that we were talking about Beth, just like, okay, this is how my man is. Toby was like, okay, Kate, this was a plan. It didn't go as planned. If we're in a different, something else has happened. We just have to be resilient. I'm paraphrasing. We just have to be resilient. It'll be fine. You know? And she can hear him. He knows how to talk to her.
Toby, there could be an argument for Toby being the most awesomest. Like Toby, Randall, they're both pretty awesome. You know? Like,
yeah.
I mean, I'm partial to Randall, but I'm just like Randall.
The biggest thing though is that Toby has kept secrets, and that to me, I don't need it. I don't appreciate it. Not here in this here life.
That's why he's number. That's why he's number 2.
That's why he's number 2.
But it's a close one though.
I would agree it's a close number 2. I would, and I'll
give it to you. I'll give it to you.
And I would give Kevin 18 out of 3.
What?
I cannot. He's just like, oh, Kevin is such a whack attack sometimes. Listen, somebody
Randall would be like, Beth, I brushed up against a woman on the subway, and I just felt like, for the strength of our relationship, I should let you know.
And Beth's response would be like, but was she hot? Like it was.
Yeah, but first, Randall would just be crying in the corner, and then Beth would come over, see it, she would see it and be like, "Did you brush up against a woman today?" And he'll be like, "Yes," because they know each other. Look, that kind of seasoning. I think about like me and Brittany. We can legitimately finish each other's sentences, like we can, because our relationship has that kind of seasoning. You know, and I think like there are times where me and Aubrey and Brittany, we just have an inside joke. We never said it was an inside joke, but it's just because of our experience. We know it's funny. If nobody else knows it's funny,
it's in the
that is in the mon. It's funny. And that is what happens with longevity and with just the seasoning of shared experiences. And that's what we see in Beth and Randall, you know? And so I guess we're starting to see the other ones get some of that good seasoning.
They're earning that seasoning.
They're earning that.
So did we cover them all?
Wait, hold on though. But before we move from Kate and Toby, shout out to the This Is Us writers for bringing in him being laid off. That is the story of so many people during this pandemic. That one day you had a job and the next day you don't, but your life doesn't stop because I still have a house. I just got a new baby. I still have to eat.
And you know what?
My wife is not working.
And
like
you know what,
this.
Britt? They don't eat, and you know what, Britt? They don't even do it in a real preachy way.
Yep.
They just
It's
they
just
enter,
a
they
fact
put
of
all
life.
it's like we're just watching clips of people right now living
Dealing with
right
stuff.
now.
Man.
And you're right. It's so good how they can, because sometimes when shows do that, they go, you're like, okay, you know,
Message.
they're really trying to have their moment. But like this is what's going on.
Mhm.
You know, so
But
yeah,
you know what it
that-
made me think of? I wonder
Who's
if
that?
they were going to bring Toby's fat suit back to show people gaining weight during quarantine.
Well, they haven't done it yet, so
I was like, oh,
It seems
if
like
they have Toby gain his weight back, I'm gonna be like, oh,
no, I
He's
think
been doing so well.
yeah, I wouldn't
Yes.
want them to revisit that. Like I because they did so much with that. Like
They did.
yeah, I wouldn't want to go back there.
Mhm.
Because-
but that said, if they do go back, they'll do it well.
Oh gosh,
yeah,
they're
I
gonna
mean,
do it so
obviously.
well.
If they
They'll do it
do,
so well.
we will love it.
So I just wanted to make that point before we move from them.
Yeah,
how they
we only
deal
have
with
one
that
storyline.
reality there.
One storyline left, and this was the only future storyline that we had, and that was with we see a girl. She's in medical school, and when they're in the rotation, that is the OBGYN part of their rotation, she can't even be in there. She has some kind of emotional reason, and we find out that it's because she is actually pregnant. And then we realize that it is Deja in the future, pregnant in medical school, and it's all happening at the same time that the mom is passing away. The mom,
grandmom.
Rebecca,
Grandma,
which
yeah,
would be
to
her
them,
grandma,
yeah.
passing away. And so they're giving us just little teaspoons of that moment, that day, that period of time where Rebecca is passing away. I mean, they've been the whole show, all 5 seasons, we've been getting peaks of like that evening. That
Yo,
one
that's
evening.
probably gonna be the last episode. I hate this show so much.
Because
I
that
do not
one
wanna
evening
see
they
that
are
episode.
stretching.
Oh, stretching it. Oh, and I think that was Deja's boyfriend driving
That
up in that
pulled
car
up.
at the end. Beat. I said, oh, if they're still together, oh, I love it. I want them to be together so bad.
Yeah.
And I want his daughter to get out the car with him and see her as like a teenager. Like I want to see
And
that
for them,
so
for them to
bad.
do that to us, for them to have Randall say, "Oh, look who's riding up," but we don't get to see who it is. They so wrong for that.
But
I
you know
love
what?
it.
It could be.
Roll
it
down
could
the
be-
window a skosh.
It could be Kate
no,
and Jack.
you don't get no Skosh window.
I want to
Wait till
just
next
a
episode.
skosh. Just let me see an eyeball.
Can I hear a voice? Hey guys, like,
No voice. No voice.
something.
How about a silhouette in the window? Can I
Nothing.
get like
That-
a silhouette?
But see, it could be Jack and Haley. It could be Jack, Haley, and Kate.
Brittany,
it
it
could
could be
be
any. It could be a character we
anybody.
haven't met yet.
It could be anybody we haven't met yet.
Hello,
Texas.
anybody.
It could be anybody. Like you guys.
Oh
I
my
just
gosh!
think-
You know who it could be? It could be the birth mother of Toby and Kate's child. Maybe
Oh,
she got
Lord.
over it and now she's part of the family.
She is perfect. I can't do it.
Ellie. It could be Ellie. It could be anybody.
It could be anybody
It
pulling
could
up in
be-
this car.
It could be Nick.
It could be. It could
I
be
just-
a. It
I
could
was just
be a
jumping in.
guru
But
that helped invent video phone technology.
It could be the doctor that birthed Deja. It could just literally.
all I think is, and I'm going to
It's
say it
probably that
again.
No,
paparazzi.
that's-
It's that
Give me a
paparazzi.
scoop.
we'll know
Roll
because
it down. Give
the
me a
next
scoop.
episode, the next episode, it's gonna like This Is Us will come on, and it's gonna be like Arabia 1932. How they gonna
What?
do this?
I'm not doing this with y'all. This is us. We're not
Right.
doing this.
But
South America.
This is
South
the
America,
guy
2087.
who's the great grandfather of the man who created the tire tread that allowed Deja's boyfriend to avoid the snow storm.
And I'll very it's a high likelihood I'll be doing a standing ovation. Like that is so beautiful. I'm so
I love tire tread.
He made that tire because this show and listen, as you all know, a friend of ours has said that this show is emotional porn. And I have every time I watch it, think of it, anything like that, I'm like, is this show emotional porn? And all I know is today, it was so clear to me that I started the episode expecting something to happen. Like I was just like so on edge, like it was like I wanted it. You know, it was like, man, what's gonna happen? Something's gonna shock my mind on Channel 9. And I was like, oh my gosh, this show, they really have programmed us. We're in it for something. And
it's okay, but I'm a willing participant, so I'm all right.
Me too.
I'm so in it. I will tell you this. I think about Deja and our conversations that we've had about stuff like The Wire. What would have happened to children who had an opportunity for a different life? Deja going to medical school and being able to flourish. Not saying that it couldn't have happened, but could it have happened?
And it would have been a trickier journey. That's for sure.
It would have been a much trickier journey. And then the person that got to play Deja looked like her, had that same shape.
Yeah, that's why it wasn't a reveal for me. It wasn't a reveal for me because I was like, when she was sitting in the car, I was like, that's Deja.
They did a Deja kind of hairstyle too. It was just
they did.
So I knew it was her.
They did.
Before it. But that's cool because I think that's one of the best things they do. It seems like they work really hard on the casting. So
except for young Randall, who clearly has the wrong complexion. I'll never get over that. How they even managed to have a dark-skinned teenage Randall, dark-skinned baby Randalls, but he's brown skin in his elementary school years. And that actor is amazing. He's amazing.
That's why they had to pick him. They were like, they'll forgive the fact that he's just a little lighter.
Well,
all I know is
amazing. I think he's the perfect Randall.
I think the list of people who are mad about that is it only has one name on it. So
I wouldn't say mad. I wouldn't say mad. That would be an overstatement. Just while you're over there putting words in my mouth, let's get it.
I didn't say it. Aubrey said that.
And I'm talking to Aubrey. I'm talking to bro right now, who's trying to really just extrapolate, and you're doing it incorrectly. And what I said was, yes, their casting is awesome, but on young Randall, they didn't match complexion. And for me, it's important. It's like the experience of being dark-skinned in America is unique. And a dark-skinned Black person does not have the same experience as a brown-skinned Black person. They just don't. And so, I think that it's
he ain't that hold on.
He's brown. He's brown skinned. Yeah. But Randall is dark skinned.
He is.
And so I just think now it doesn't mean they're not grappling with race in the way that's right when they're examining those years. Sure. They getting it real right. Yeah. Now. But I'm just saying, that is the only time I have looked at their casting and
but can I just say this though?
But imagine he's such a good actor.
Imagine how nearly impossible it is to find 4 generations of actor who not only look appropriate but also have the skill to pull these scenes off and stuff. So I give them a little bit of credit, a little bit of slack, because it's like, man,
because
there's a lot of stuff they gotta find. Yeah,
he's so good.
Saying, because they don't skip on the acting for people who just look like them. So it's like they get the people who look similar, but also have the acting chops to handle these.
He's clearly young Randall.
And he is. And I will say, I'm happy that we got a chance to see Annie growing up, because I feel like we haven't really dove into her character.
We haven't.
And her having this French toy for the baby, I said, is Annie gonna be like some type of traveler, really pulling out her William DNA. Like, she's about to have some interesting stories. This little girl. Like,
I'm sorry, are you talking about that little Target giraffe? What was that?
She said French.
Oh, I missed that.
She said,
I thought that
she
was
said
from
this
Walmart.
is a French. She said this is a French toy that's supposed to make the baby really smart.
Oh, okay.
Like
Okay. It definitely looks like a $4.99 Target draft. But
I did not know what it was.
I didn't examine the tag. I didn't. I don't know. I missed that. It didn't get
you need
in the
to listen. You need to listen.
In the mind.
You weren't using your mind.
I didn't process.
You weren't using your mind.
But y'all, that's all the storylines. I think we hit them all.
That's it.
Y'all, I think that's the right perspective on season 5, episode 9.
Wow.
All right. So I guess the next one is the next one next week.
That's a good question.
All right. Well, whatever it is, we'll see you then.
Thank you. Oh, and also, y'all, look out because we just posted our last episode of our podcast. Check it out on rightperspectivepodcast.com. It is we reviewed 2 movies, Boys in the Hood and Baby Boy. And y'all, it is a good conversation. So be sure to check it out.
Well, I want to let you guys know the next episode is Tuesday, March 9th at 9 p.m.
Okay.
All right.
Woo! Have a good night, everybody.
Bye, guys.